Okay guys, so I'm back with another tier list, this time 4 games from 2009, and as I said in previous videos, I'm gonna only talk about games that I have played, because it makes no sense for me to hate games that I never played, right? So let's begin right away, and we will begin with a very good game, Assassin's Creed 2. It's still, to this day, many people still feel Assassin's Creed 2 is one of the best, if not the best, Assassin's Creed game. From the story, the gameplay improvements over the first one, and overall as a game. And I recently started playing the Assassin's Creed games again, and man, the early games, they were so much different than what we have today, and in a way much better. And even the story is with Ezio, it's so good. And you seeing him evolve from just a teenager into becoming a full assassin. Well, in a way it's throughout the 3 games that he has, but only during this one. And I'm even putting an S. I enjoyed the first one very much, and the second I even enjoyed it more. Such a great game. Then another great game, Left 4 Dead 2. I will put it there, man. This game to play with friends it might be one of the best, if not the best. I even a couple of years ago, I beat the game. I played the game with my brothers and all of that, and man, we had so much fun playing the game and playing with friends and all. Man, I miss games like this in a way. Well, Helldivers is in a way kind of like that, but it seems like we rarely get this type of co-op games nowadays, but I guess it is what it is. Next we have Fear 2. I talked in a different video, I talked about the first Fear, and how do I say it? I think in terms of graphics the first one might be a bit I'm not gonna say it's better than Fear 2, but we noticed that in Fear 2 they kinda hold back a little bit, because I think the first Fear only came out to PC, or did it? No, the first Fear only came out on PC, and the second Fear, because it came out on consoles, they had to kinda hold back a little bit, kinda like with Crysis. The first Crysis only came out on PC, and it was the whole meme of can it run Crysis. And then with Crysis 2, since it came out in the consoles as well, they had to hold back a little bit, because the consoles were less powerful than a PC, so they couldn't push the game that far. But I still enjoyed the game. I don't think the third one is when I get there, but I also enjoy this one, and it has the scene where you go through a school, and the first time I beat the game, I played the game, when I got to that part, it kind of really freaked me out. But other than that scene, the game is not that horror or anything like that, at least in my opinion. Next, Pokemon Heart Gold. This is kind of a remake from the Gold, and I'm gonna put it at S. And it's very easy for me to put in at S, because I think Earth Gold and Soul Silver are the best Pokemon games ever made. I really think they are, just because with these games they did something they never did with any other game. Because you have the first generation with red, blue and green and yellow, and then Gold and Silver came out, and once you beat the Pokemon League in the Gold Silver, you could go back to the first generation area and beat the gyms and the Pokemon League in that area again. You had basically two generations in one game, two maps in one game, two Pokemon Leagues in one game. This is basically Pokemon Gold and Red in the same game, and they never did that again. And just for that, I really like this game, and I think it's the best Pokemon game they ever made just because of that. And I really hope they make kind of a Pokemon Violet remake for Heart and Gold. I really hope, or at least kinda like the Brilliant Diamond or Pearl, because man, I love that so much. When I first beat the Pokemon League and then I discovered, wait, I can go to the first generation basically. I was like, man, I love this game so much. Next, we have kind of a bittersweet one, because I don't know if you guys know, but kinda recently we got the news that Guerrilla might be done with the Killzone franchise, and I think that's a bit sad, because I think there's so much they can do with the games, or a reboot, remake, remaster even. There's so much they could do, and the games were so good. I'm putting it here. The games are so good. I beat the game so many times. I enjoyed the game so much, and it's a shame that it seems like they are moving away from Killzone. I think it's such a stupid decision, but I guess it is what it is, right? Next, we have a game called Legendary, and this game, I know it's not very popular and all, and the game itself is not that great, but it begins with you opening a Pandora's box that unleashes all these mythical creatures into the world, and as a big fan of that type of stuff, when I first saw Griffon and Minotaurs and all of that, I was like mind blown. And you mean to tell me I can kill mythical beasts with shotguns and machine guns and all of that? I was like, man, I like the game very much. I even kind of played it again recently, but it has its problems, but I really enjoyed the game. I'm not gonna put it in A, because it's not as good of a game as Fear or Killzone, but man, this game usually is on Steam very cheap on sales. If you never played it, man, at least try it. I think the gameplay might be a bit stiff and weird, but I think the game is very enjoyable for what it is. Next, we have Lord of the Rings Conquest. Oh man, since I saw the movies, that I've been a big Lord of the Rings fan, and I've been trying to get this game, but the physical version for the PC. I have the physical version for the PS3, and I've been trying to get the physical version for PC, just collection. And the first time I played the game, it was a demo. Remember when they did those? It was a demo for the PS3, and just for the demo I enjoyed the game, and then when I finally bought it, I really liked the game. Playing as like soldiers on the battlefield and all of that against the orcs, and man, it had its problems, but I think it's a very good Lord of the Rings game, and it's the thing that Lord of the Rings kinda has very good games, but because of licensing and all of that, you can't really buy the games anymore, because EA made a ton of them, and now you can't find them anywhere because EA doesn't have the rights to Lord of the Rings anymore. So, but and I think it's a shame, because we lose so many access to so many good games because of all of that licensing issues and all of that, and it's a bit of a shame, but I guess it is what it is, right? I say that a lot. Red Faction Guerrilla next. I'm gonna put it at A. This, man, just the destruction in this game alone is enough to even think about putting a test, but the gameplay and all of that kinda hold it back. But the destruction you can do in this game, it's kind of mind blown that we don't have nowadays, more than 10 years later, we still don't have games that do a better job at destruction than Red Faction Guerrilla. You could destroy buildings, bridges, you could destroy basically anything in the world, and it just towers, and seeing the towers collapse and destroy everything around, and man, the gameplay is the only thing that's a bit stiff, but the distraction and the physics of everything in the game, it's very good, and if you never played it, I think you should, because it's a very fun game to play. Next we have Resident Evil 5. How do I put it? I've been wanting to play this game with my brother because we played the Resident Evil 6, but we never played this one, and I'll leave it at name because I really enjoyed. The ending of the game was kind of annoying me, and having Chris punch a boulder quite literally is one of the most, how do I say, kind of a reach, but very good game overall, at least I think, because the first Resident Evil game that I played was Resident Evil 4, and then I played this one, and I enjoyed. Resident Evil 4 is one of the best, and I've been wanting to play the remake because I haven't bought it yet, but I want to. And but Resident Evil 5 is still a very good game. It has some weird things, but I think every Resident Evil game has some weird things in it, but I think it's a good game nonetheless. And I've said good game a bunch of times, but I don't know what else to say. Next we have SmackDown vs Raw 2010. This one, how do I'm putting an A. I still remember when I bought this game, my father went shopping, and I gave him the money and wrote on a piece of paper the name of the game so we could bring the game. Man, it was so awesome. But the moment I played it, because I think I'm not mistaken, but the 2010 one was the one when they improved the physics of the weapons, of ladders, tables, chairs and all of that, and if a chair of a ladder was on the ring and you slam someone onto the ladder of the chair, they would react getting slammed into the chair or the ladder. Now it doesn't have that, and again I say this, but it's kinda mind-blowing that we have games that are 10 years plus old that do things better than today, and I think that's so sad to see, because when they did this one, I think I'm not mistaken, that you could turn me there when you did some moves, kind of suplex or power bombs and all of that. You could control your character to connect with what you wanted. The destruction of the tables was very good, the ladders, chairs, man, so many things that could be done, and nowadays it's a bit more, they are improving it, but it's still a bit restrictive, and that is a shame, but it's what we got, right? So, but yeah, very good game. There's not a wrestling game I really hated. I think I enjoyed them all, just because I'm a big wrestling fan. So, yeah. Next, Warhammer Dawn of War 2, a strategy game. And will I? Man, I don't know. I like it, but I'll leave it here for now on. It's a very good game. I enjoy the Warhammer Dawn of War games, and I kinda played it it's not a couple of years ago, it's more, but I really enjoyed them. And I'm not, how do I say, I'm not that huge Warhammer fan. I don't know the lore and all of that. I just played some games because they look cool. I played Space Marine, the first one. I loved it. Great game. I haven't played the second one, but I really want to. And the strategy games, I always enjoy them as well, but it had some limitations in what you could do, but I think it was fine for what it was. Next, Wolverine Origins. I love this game. I really do. The amount of costumes, the gore, the slashing. Logan would get damaged and you see the damage on his body, and then he would heal up over time. Such great details. The gameplay was a bit weird sometimes, but man, to think that Activision made this game. Why did Activision in the past did so many great different games, and now it's just basically Call of Duty. And it's the same with EA. EA used to do so many great games, and now it's basically FIFA. But I enjoy the game very much, and I had the physical copy of the game, and as a stupid idiot I sold it, and now I've been trying to buy it back, but man, it's so expensive to get a physical edition of this game. But I'm continue to try because as collection purpose, and but as a game, man, I still think it might be the best. I'm not gonna say superhero game, that is not, but X-Men type of, I know there's those X-Men games, I don't remember the name, but I know there's some X-Men games that people like, and but I think this one is the best, and Wolverine is one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character. I have kind of a, how do I say, I don't usually have a favorite character above them all. I have kind of like a tier list. If this was a superhero tier list, Wolverine will be S, because I like them very much. I'm not gonna say he's my favorite overall, but he's definitely one of my favorites ever. Next, man, Batman Arkham Origins. How do I even... This game is so good, and I still remember, because you have the Scarecrow scenes, and there's a part in the game where kind of the image glitches, and kind of the TV fails a bit. And the first time I played the game and that happened, I was like, what the hell? Did the console break or the TV break or whatever? And then it's shown that it's just Scarecrow messing with you, and man, so awesome. And then the gameplay, the fight, the stealth, the enemies getting scared when you keep taking down enemies one by one without getting discovered. I know the final boss fight with Joker is a bit weird, we can say, but it might still be the best Batman game ever. I know Arkham City is also very good, and I really enjoy Arkham Knight as well, but Arkham Knight has, I will talk about it when I get there. But I still think would it be the best Batman game? I have to think about that, but in terms of superhero games, it's still one of the best ever. And that's saying a lot considering it's, what, 15 years? Yes, 15 years old. Damn, time flies. Next we have Borderlands. I never liked this game. Man, I had some fun with it, but I don't know, the weapons, the gameplay, even the world itself, I never enjoyed it that much. I know people love Borderlands, but I just I don't. The gameplay is not all that bad, but I never enjoyed the game that much. I'm sorry, I just didn't. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it's not for me, if that makes sense. Next, this is a bit of Yakuza 3, because I didn't play the original Yakuza 3. I played it when I bought the remastered for the PS4. No, I'm lying. I played the game, but it was after I beat 4 or 5. 4 was the first one I bought. I've been wanting to buy Yakuza games since the second one came out, but I never had the chance to do it. And then I finally bought 4, loved it, started to buy all of them, and I love the series. And this one, I'm not gonna leave it, I'm gonna put it on as it's a Yakuza game. I love Yakuza games, I don't care. The fights, the gameplay, the stories, cutscenes, man, and yeah, Kiryu, no, that is in the second one, but Kiryu does some badass stuff. He might be the most badass character in the game ever. It just might. And if you never play the games, I really recommend you play them. Start with Yakuza 0 and then go from there, and I think you will enjoy it very much. Next we have Halo. I think this is Reach, right? Or is it? No, it's not 3. I think it's Reach. Man, I don't know. The image is cut out and doesn't matter. I played all of the Halos with the Master Chief Collection. I played them with my brother, and we enjoyed them, but I gotta be honest, it's not really. I like them, but they are not that big thing for me. It's just fun games to play with friends. For me, nothing that special. And next, Infamous. I really want a remake of Infamous. I'm not gonna put it at S because it has some gameplay issues, and the world can get really annoying when you get to the later parts of the game, and there's enemies everywhere shooting at you and throwing stuff on you and trying to attack you. It gets really annoying, but the mechanic of the game where you can choose to be a good guy or a bad guy, I think it's so awesome, and it's a thing that we need more. It's still one of those things that we had in Infamous 2 and Second Son, right? It's only those 3 if I'm not mistaken. And there's Last Light, but that's kind of a DLC, doesn't really matter. But it's kind of mind-blowing again to me how we don't have more games like this, where you are kind of a superhero, but you can choose to be a good guy or a bad guy. You can choose to help people or to hurt people. It's like, how many things and mechanics in games have we lost throughout this last decade, yeah, kind of a bit more, but we lost so many good mechanics, and I really don't know why. And I really want another Infamous game, or at least make a remake or remaster of these ones, because I think it's such a great franchise that PlayStation just has laying there doing nothing, as they have with the Killzone and many others, but I guess PlayStation doesn't really like money. Well, next we have UFC Undisputed. The most memories I have with this game is playing with a friend of mine. We played this game all the time, and it was the most annoying thing, because he was very good at submissions and I was really bad at submissions, and so he would always try to put me on the ground and make me tap, and since I was not very good at that, I will always lose 4 tap out because of that, and man, sometimes I would get really pissed about it. But it was just fun with friends. We got some competitive moments, but at the end of the day, just fun to have with friends. And it wasn't the best game, but the sequels did a better job. But as a start of a franchise, it was a very good game to have fun with friends, as I've said. Next we have Legends of WrestleMania, and I'm gonna put it here as well. I really enjoyed the game as well. It's a bit weird, and you could kind of import the roster from SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, which I think it was very cool. And the gameplay of the game was a bit weird, because it had kind of quick time events throughout the match, but it's still the only game, if I'm not mistaken, but it's still the only game to have thumbtacks to use in a match. And it's like, how the hell thumbtacks are only in one wrestling game, at least from WWE ever? It's so stupid. But I enjoyed the game for what it was. Wrestling game, I'm a big wrestling fan, man. It doesn't take much to make me happy, so it was fun for what it was. Next, Bayonetta. I played this game kinda recently, because I bought the kind of the remastered edition that comes with Vanquish as well, where they both come together for the PS4. It was years ago, but I sat on it for a while, and then I finally, because I bought it basically for Vanquish, because I like Vanquish very much, and then a couple of years later I finally gave Bayonetta a try, because I saw so many people talk about how good the game is. And for me, I think it's just kind of a Devil May Cry, but with a woman, basically. It's not that much different, and I think until the end of the game, I think it has some moments that it's a bit okay. It's get a bit too over the top, I guess. Fun for what it is. The gameplay is okay. I didn't get too much invested in it, but I think it was fine. Not my, I'm not gonna say my type of game, but it was a bit weird. It's a weird game. Next we have Prototype. Here, I even beat this, a couple of years ago, and so awesome. How did we get, man, look at this. We had Infamous and Prototype, 2 games that are kinda like superhero, but not really, and they are both so good, and did kind of different things, because with the famous you could be or good or bad, and Prototype didn't really have that, but the powers that it had were so unique. I don't even know how to call this, kind of a symbiote type of powers, that you could do so many things with it, and the distraction you could cause. It was so fun to play. It gets a bit annoying as well when you get too many enemies shooting at you, and the army with tanks and choppers and all of that, and it gets really annoying in some parts. But overall is a very good game to enjoy. If you never played it, you should give it a try. Next, Dragon Ball Heijin Blast. I'm not gonna put in there because the hoster, I think it was too small. But this game has something that I never seen another Dragon Ball game had, and it was, you could destroy the ground. How do I say this? You could open holes in the ground and push the ground down and down and down, and you could open big holes in the map with destruction, and that's a thing we never see in other Dragon Ball games. I think even Heijin Blast shouldn't have this, if I'm not mistaken, but there were some maps where you could slam really hard your opponents into the ground, and it would just push the ground down and open big holes. Let me see if I can. Okay guys, so I found it, and the quality is a bit bad, but shout out to PS360 HD. But this is what I was talking about. See right here, Goku slams Raditz and it destroys the ground, and it opens the ground everywhere. See right there. And this is a thing that, look at that. If I can pause it right here, no, a bit, yeah, look at that. And this is a thing that no other Dragon Ball game has, and it's a bit of a shame again, but it is what it is. The sequel is much better, but I will talk about it when the time comes. Next, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. S. I think I'll put it at S, because this was the first Call of Duty game where I played the online mode over and over. I spent so many hours on the online mode of Modern Warfare 2, and man, what a time, the PS3 era, where you could play online without the PS Plus, which is, it still pisses me off that they decided to put the online game, the playing online, behind the Plus subscription, but that's for another video. And but the campaign, I really enjoyed all three Modern Warfare games campaign. Well, in the PS3 era, even some of the PS4, I really enjoyed the campaigns in Call of Duty. They were always at least fun to play and had some cool moments. But the online, it was kind of my first online game, really playing it all the time. Excuse me, basically all the time, and it was so fun playing with friends and all of that, and evolving and getting the prestige ranks and all of that. It was, I think it had I think Modern Warfare 2 already had prestige, I think so, I might be mistaken, but so many hours in the online. I'm really confident in saying that it was my first real online game, because until this point I didn't really have a great internet connection, you could say, and I wasn't a big fan of multiplayer games. I always enjoyed the single player, but this was the first game that, okay, I have a friend of mine that was kind of obsessed with the online of Modern Warfare, and when I got Modern Warfare 2, I decided, okay, let me see if this is really that good, and then I got hooked, and man, such great times. And next we have Uncharted 2, still kind of considered one of, if not many people still think it's the best Uncharted game, and I'm not gonna disagree with that, because just the intro alone of this game is one of the best, and the graphics and gameplay improvements over the first one were mind-blowing at the time. It was so much better than the first one. The first one had some kinda issues in gameplay and all of that, but this one just, man, they took it, and basically it was Uncharted 2 that made Uncharted a big franchise for PlayStation. The first one was good, but it didn't do that well, but Uncharted 2 came along and just bam, everyone's mind was blown with this game, and I think it deserves, because it's an awesome game to play, and if you never played it, I really recommend playing the Uncharted games. All of them, they all are good in their way. Even Lost Legacy, you can enjoy it for what it is, even though I think it's a bit weak compared to the others, but it's still good to play and still fun to play. So guys, I will leave it here. This is my tier list for games of 2009. If you disagree with some spots, let me know. If there is a game that you like that is not here, is because I didn't play it. If you have games that I did not play that you put an S or AOC, let me know down below what you think. Next time I will do 2010, and I'm trying to do until 2024 by the end of the year, but let's see. If not, I will do until 2023, and then at the beginning of the year I will do 2024 games, and we will see how that goes. And well guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.